Hi, Sugar. What's going on?
Okay, first of all, to all the guests who didn't see Denise's episode, this is Denise Infinity, who I absolutely love. How are you doing, love?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I just got home from work a little while ago. I'm right now cooking for myself. Um, I felt really extra, so I'm making meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and some baby carrots and shit like that. Um, I think what was I like episode 2 or 3 on your show?
It was the first ones, yeah.
One of the first ones, and I am a skeptic when it comes to a lot of shit. And I, what I mean, my thing is, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? I mean, I'm not expecting anything, but what's the fucking worst that can happen? Somebody hits me up, and I had about 3 people actually like start looking for me on like TikTok and on here and add me and shit like that. So it was cool. One person actually really, really, really stood out to me, and he stood out because he was really cool. His way of thinking is extremely similar to mine. But could you believe he was older than what I'm usually dating? Which was better. And it is better because, like, this guy is responsible. He has a fucking job. And, we can sit back and talk about different things. And the communication is okay. But, it's still new. So it's something that we're working on. And main thing is I don't feel like a motherfucker's mother.
So you said that it's new in communication. You're speaking like you've met this person and you're taking them serious.
I did meet him.
You, how long has it been?
We started talking in July and we met in person in late September. The motherfucker flew all the way from California to New York. Stood with me 2 weeks. And it's cool.
So are y'all doing the long distance thing? Are you still in New York?
I'm still in New York. We are doing the long distance thing for now. So here's to you. We don't know what we want to do because I don't want to be where I'm at right now. I mean, I love New York. It's my heart, born and raised, but it's not where I want to end.
I remember you saying that you were open to relocating and that you were essentially tired of the cost of living in New York City.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, it is a long distance relationship. I've had a few, but they weren't so far. It was still like, we could still see each other on weekends, or, we didn't have to spend so much time away from each other. But this long distance shit is fucking hard. He is a trans man. He's a baby trans guy. Been on his shit for I think about 7 months already. At the time we met, it was 3 months. Now he should be about well into like 7 months in his transition. So it's the interesting part about it is that me having 22 years in the game versus him having just a couple months in the game, that whole juxtaposition of, I have more experience in it than he does. But that's just when you discuss injecting hormones. He has been trans since he started puberty. You know what I mean? And he's lived like that. So, when I have to be mindful that when he asks me questions about transitioning and stuff like that, I have to break it down to him from a scientific point of view and not a lived experience point of view, because I can't give him none of that because he's been living it for just about as long as I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as far as like the DNA and the chemistry and how that shit works, you know what I mean? I have to tell him, you know, like just the other day we spoke and he was like, I kind of feel like, you know what I mean, I'm stunted in my transition, in my growth. I'm like, bro, it's just been 6 months. It's just been 6 months.
You're literally just getting started.
Right. Right. You did, like, you just broke. They just shot the cannon. You just broke into the race. You just started. Having had experience with trans male bodies, I've been able to give him little tips here and there, because he's like, yo, I can't get the hair on my face to grow. I don't understand this shit. I'm like, look, get yourself some minoxidil. Put that on your face. Your hair will grow. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Minoxidil. You can get it from any pharmacy, over the counter. What was it? The main one from the 90s was Rogaine. Mm-hmm. Now they have it for like beards and stuff like that. They have the no frills kind. It's called minoxidil. It's like a gel or foam or something, and you put that on your face, and you wind up growing a whole connector dot, a whole shit. Like,
trans guys who I know, I don't know how true it is, because I always imagined that it would cause more breakout, but some trans guys that I know would residue from their T-shot, they would rub on their face in places where they want to grow hair as well. Not sure.
That's an old school trick.
Yeah, not sure if
that's an old,
but
that's an old school trick. That's what we used to do here in New York. After we had a shot, whatever was left, it smelled. Let me tell you something. It smelled like good grief. But the next day, bitch, you had a sickening glow. And then, you know, and it's just things like that. He was like, I can get hair to grow everywhere fucking else on my body, but not my face. I'm like, bro, relax. It's going to take its time. These fucking chesticles didn't just grow overnight. You know what I mean? It's always been easier for trans guys. And I constantly tell people that where we shed our motherfucking masculinity and our male privilege and toss it to the side of the road to be who we truly are, you know what I mean? You pick it up and you start a whole new life of, you know, getting your way almost all the time. With the exception of, you know, if, you know, POC presenting and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But even then, when it comes to the gender class system, a male is held at higher regard than a female. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like, in order for us to get our fucking point across, we have to sashay, swing hips, show a little tit, and be nice and play in order to get our point across.
Yeah, yeah. We have to play into all the misogynistic tropes. And this person you said is older than you typically date. How old do you typically date, and how old is this person? Is this guy?
Well, before him, the average age of the guys that I dated, trans guys that I dated, they were anywhere between 24 and 28. I'm 39. Big age difference. But I also realized that dating that young, it wasn't nothing that I seeked, nothing that I searched for. It was nothing that, like, no, it was just, we ran into each other. I thought he was cute. He thought I was cute. And it just went like that. And before you knew it, wait, but you don't look that old. You know what I mean? So, but, you know, we wind up liking each other, and, you know, and it grows from there. But, you know, I made a vow to myself that it's important, because, I mean, although at first you get the whole rundown, oh, I'm not like all the others. Oh, I'm more mature. Oh, this and oh, that. And they give you every fucking, they try to check off every fucking box that you have to try to meet your standards so that you can pay them some mind. I learned, can't let them do that. No, I can't really do, I mean, exceptions anymore because I have to start asking if there's an exception, where are you lacking? Weird, right? But if I have to make an exception for you, you're lacking somewhere else.
It's
Because uh-huh.
I would say that it's weird only if you're overall a pessimistic person. If you're looking for the bad in every situation, then that's when it could get a bit problematic for your mental health. Outside of that, looking for if someone seems too good to be true and looking for the qualities in which they lack, I think is natural, especially being someone like you, someone who is involved in community work, community activism. You've seen for yourself that it's natural for humans to never be perfect. Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is with that is at what point do you start forgiving too many of the flaws? At what point do you stop telling yourself, oh, well, ain't nobody perfect. Well, I can't expect them to check all my boxes, and just start forgetting, like excusing bullshit. I'm going to be the first one to tell you, honey, there were times where I looked at red flags and I swear to God, it was a carnival.
you thought you was a matador.
Bitch, did I?
Ah,
My thing now, I look at it like baseball. You got three chances, three chances. That's it. And what I'm starting to do now is I sit back and I observe. Because a lot of times people are going to tell you who they are, they're going to tell you who they want, and they're going to tell you how they want it. And it's up to you to pay attention to catch those signals.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So how old is the guy now? How old is your friend now?
33, a grown ass man.
I ain't mad.
Grown ass man. And I'm here for it.
I'm here.
And I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too, sis. Um, so I forgot your response, but did you say he was open to leaving Cali, or that may be your destination?
He's open to leaving Cali. You see, my thing is him coming to New York because he's never been here before. He got to see more or less what's it about. He doesn't really like it too much. He thinks it's too fast paced for him, too much hustle and bustle, and it gives him anxiety. Got it. I'm not really a California girl. I don't mind it, but I don't know. I think it's far from everything that I know, and I have a bad habit of getting homesick. My thing is, with what he does for work and what I do for work, we can honestly, after saving a couple $1,000s, we can honestly just pick up and go anywhere, and we'll always have a job everywhere. So, you know what I mean? My thing was, okay, well, let's just see how it goes. And maybe we can both just pick up and relocate if that's what you want to do. But, we have to make sure that because, I mean, you can't just be on the fence, or you can't just be like, I don't know, I'll think about it. Or you can't just be like, well, let's try it. It can't be a let's try it out thing where you just pick up and relocate your whole fucking life.
No, you have to be determined to make it work.
One of the needs is definitely communication. And right now, to be completely transparent, we're going through a little bit of a patch because October is a rough month for him. He's had some traumatic experiences that happened in October, so he kind of shuts down. But I've noticed that it's gradually getting better now that November's here. But and his traumas with October come from family. You know what I mean? So, I can only imagine that with October coming around, something tragic happened. Then November coming around, Thanksgiving. Then December coming around, Christmas and New Year's. The boy probably not going to be right till about late January, early February.
Yeah.
I don't have that long to wait. I don't. I need clear communication. It's one of the things that I require. Everything else we can work on, but I require clear communication because at the point where the texts start dwindling away and the calls start dwindling, now I feel like I'm being treated like just like a regular T girl with the trade. You know what I mean? Was
Feel
after
like
you get what you want,
you being like sideline pussy.
right? You know what I mean? After you get what you want, bitch, now I'm an afterthought. But I'm really into him. The feelings I have are strong. Um, I just need just a little more communication. If he's watching this, I need just a little more communication, and we'll be good. I understand that things happen, life happens, and everybody has triggers and traumas, and everybody has those type of issues. Anybody going out there, you don't ever have to deal with your trauma alone. There's always someone out there that can either identify or help you cope. There's no reason to isolate, no need to isolate, because in isolating, everyone around you who's close to you in your inner circle is become affected by what you're going through.
Yeah, yeah. And if he is watching, if he is listening, um, being someone who suffers from similar issues or who has survived with similar issues, I'll tell you this. Don't be afraid to be sad in front of people. Don't be afraid to be scared in front of people. Don't be afraid to let someone see your bad side. At the end of the day, with Denise, for example, she's either going to accept you or she's not. And it's bad
Right.
that she see who you really are. If she is what I think she is and who I believe she is, this is a potential to bring y'all closer.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. I agree 150%.
Well, Mama, you know I'm going to be sending y'all my peace, love, and blessings. You know, for people like us, when we fall in love with each other, it tends to be very real, but it also tends to be very hard because, unfortunately, we are a traumatized community.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I love you, sis.